Hi, my name is Jacob Ferguson. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I have been gone for a very long time, but I'm back to talk about Season 15. So, Season 15 has the biggest cast out of all of the seasons, with 16 queens. Could have been cut down a little bit, just saying. I'm not going to say who could have been cut down because I don't know. Um, but I think that, you know, we have seen a lot of talent from these 16 girls, so let's get into it. So, the first challenge is a talent show. And the reason I'm saying first, and I'm just combining the first two episodes, really, I don't like that the first episode was all of them walking in and that was basically it. So, I'm just going to combine both. I'm not going to go too much into detail because this video would literally be 24 hours long. And I just don't want that. You know, I have a life. Okay, it's the last lie I'm going to tell. I don't have a life. But let's just get into it. This video is long enough as is. So, episode 1, they did a talent show. And I think that out of all the talent shows we've seen, this was a talent show. I mean, really, if I'm going to be honest with you, my mom and I watch this program together, and my brother sometimes tunes in as well. We all have our favorites. My mom and I kind of assumed and guessed correctly that at least the top 6 were going to be who they were eventually. Of course, we didn't know who was going to make the top 4, this or that. I mean, we kind of had a feeling that at least 2 of them that are in the top 4 were going to be, but we didn't know that the other 2, we could say, you know, this one's getting eliminated, this one's not. Whatever. The top 6 were solidified from episode 1. And I think that says a lot about the programming that we saw from the episodes. And that the queens that were going to be out first, besides one, were the ones that were out. So if I go to my imaginary notebook here, I think that our early outs were Irene, Robin, Amethyst, Princess Poppy, and Aura, and that the rest of them were kind of interchangeably in between. We thought the twins were going to go on a lot longer than, you know, they did, but that's just me and my mom. Wishful thinking, am I right? I do think that this season was originally going to have 14 queens, but then they added sugar and spice. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that out of the contestants to be added late into kind of like a pre-production standpoint, sugar and spice would be those 2, because how are you going to pick 2 other random queens to participate? You know what I mean? It's kind of like when Tamisha dropped out last second, so they replaced her with Jada. It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, let's bring sugar and spice in. Why not? We'll just have 16 queens. And from that, we got I'm gonna send home every one person a week because I have to. Because if not, this season is going to take a year. So I'm hoping they don't do 16 queens again. I'm hoping that it is brought back down to 13 at least. You know, 12 would be nice because I can't keep track of everybody. I can. My mom can't. Okay. I know a lot more about this than she does. So, anyway, back to episode 1. I'm going off on a tangent. Anitra winning was a good sort of thing to happen. I know a lot of people don't like Anitra because she is stealing ballroom culture. A lot of that. I'm not the biggest Anitra stan, but I do like her, and I think that she's very She seems very nice. She seems very humble. And I don't really necessarily know where the people of ballroom are coming from because I've never experienced ballroom before. So I'm going to educate myself more on that. And I'm not going to say anything about that because I don't know. All I can say is Anitra's talent show was actually really good, even without the voguing and the death drops and all of that. And I know that's not the correct terms, but she presented a talent that has never been done before, and I think that she did a very good job. Jax as well. Jax did a very good job, and I wouldn't have minded seeing Jax sort of winning as well. Marsha, on the other hand, it is what it is. Marsha did a very good job, but somebody else had to be in the top three, and I think that putting one of the twins up there and not putting the other one would be a little bit like, and that's where the twin thing. I'm getting off track again, but that's where being a twin is hard. I'm a twin. My brother is doing God knows what, who knows where, but you're always compared to one another. So I mean, putting one of the twins, Spice, in the top over the other wouldn't have made any sense. And the bottom queens, Lucy with Let Loose. Oh my God, the meme, the meme of Let Loose is so amazing. I'm sorry, it is. I love, love, love the fact that we turned her into a meme. We could have spread hate on her name because she was not a very. She was, a sore loser about some stuff. But man, when we turned that into a meme and then she embraced it, that's just an amazing sight to see. Amethyst being in the bottom, I agreed with the judges on that. I thought that, turn around at the end, see the baby, face the camera for all of it. But, she didn't, so she got put in the bottom. And Irene, I just thought wasn't funny. It was a little bit weird because the trajectory of what they were going with Irene was that she was going to stay. But I think Irene, just like Kimura and June, kind of are being catapulted into a new limelight where I think that they could maybe break out of being a first out, and even James, James Mansfield. I think all of them are breaking out of like that first out trauma and being actually like really fun and creative drag queens, because I think they are. So let's go to episode 2. Also, Seven Rings. I don't really like Seven Rings that much. But I did enjoy. I did enjoy the lip sync. I thought that it was a good lip sync. Pardon me. Speaking of burps, let's talk about episode 2, for me at least. Heaven. The heaven for drag queens. I think it should have been judged in groups. I think that Anitra's group should have won, with Sasha ultimately winning. I think that would be fair. You call the safe group is the leftovers group. And then the other group is sort of up for elimination. And you go, okay, well, Lucy did the best in her group, so she's safe. But the rest of you are kind of like, you need to step it up. Really, other than Lucy, I don't remember anything that happened in that group other than, Lucy being Dolly Parton and Amethyst getting PP'd on by one of the pit crew members. So Amethyst and Princess Poppy are in the bottom. And they lip sync to Ain't No Mountain High Enough by Diana Ross. And thank you for getting it stuck in my head for weeks on end. I enjoyed this lip sync. I think that, Lucretia Lumbamba did something on Italia where she ran back, joined the girls who were safe, and lip sync a little bit in there. Princess Poppy did that. And all I have to say is that Lucretia did it because it was a funny song. It was a fast paced song, and I liked it. But to Diana Ross, who is RuPaul's idol, even Jasmine Kennedy, who said she was going to put in camp and during Swept Away, did like a good spin on it where it was like, yeah, she's doing like campy movements and stuff, but it's good. Like she's still embodying Diana Ross. With Princess Poppy, it was like, what the fuck. And this song is probably one of Diana Ross's most famous songs. So the fact that she didn't deliver was not good. And my brother actually picked Princess Poppy as his winner. He was like, I know everybody's going to want, Sasha Colby and all of that. I'm going to choose. And he's straight, by the way. He still knew who Sasha Colby was. He goes, but I'm going to pick Princess Poppy because I want her to win. If not her, Lucy Liuka. Hate to break it to you, bro, but nah. I was always a Team Sasha Colby. Still am. Hashtag Team Sasha Colby. I don't think I did a hashtag moment. There we go. I think that was like a gang sign or something like that. So the next episode, Snatch Game, and Lucy, Mistress, and Marsha were the best. Though something could be said for Jax, and something could be said for Amethyst. I think Amethyst was top 4. And I think bottom 4 was Malaysia Baby Doll Fox. When Jada Shada Hudson did Saucy Santana, she did him very well. Even though, she didn't start out strong, she did Saucy Santana very well. Especially when she went, excuse me, and then put the things in her ears. Loved that. That was Canada Drag Race Season 3. No, this is a lot to take in. That's why with like Belik and Drag Race Severage, I don't think I even said that correctly. I haven't really been following it that much. All I know is, like Antonia Nutshell or something like that came back and everybody was like, why? I don't know. I think that was Severgy. Anyway, so whatever. Moving forward with the challenge, I think that Sugar and Spice should not have been lip syncing, but the fact that they did really showed the producers' cards. Even my mom said when they walked in, they're gonna have to lip sync against each other because it's just so obvious. I think it was to break up the twins, but I do think that Sugar and Spice will be back for an All-Star season. So, and the song is "You Better Run" by Pat Benatar. Usually, the song for Snatch Game is an iconic one, or like in season 13 where it was, Fascinated, but it was Fascinators on the Runway. This song was okay to lip sync to. I don't know. I just was meh about it all. Didn't really enjoy it, but whatever. Next was the design challenge. I agree that Lux should have won, but I think that the top 3 were definitely Lux, Sasha, and Jax. I liked Jax, and Jax was so misrepresented on this season. As was Robin, who we'll get to in a minute, but I think that she was so misunderrepresented. She did a very good job on the outfit, and I think that she should have been in the top 3. Bottom 3, I don't agree with. I think Selena obviously should have been in the bottom 3 with Malaysia and Amethyst. Amethyst should have been in the bottom 3. I just didn't like her outfit. Lip sync song Queen by Janella Monáe. Honestly, besides Make Me Feel, I hadn't really listened to a lot of Janella Monáe songs. And now I'm a Janella Monáe stan. I love, love, love her music now. I loved this song. I loved the way that Selena embodied it. And again, well, we were watching it. We're like, Amethyst is gonna go home because it's Selena's titties, and Selena's titties is gonna bring it, and she did. I didn't really doubt that Selena was not gonna go home there. Up next is the old lady girl groups. Runway probably played a big part in this, considering the fact that I think Jax did better than Anitra, but I think on the runway Anitra did better than Jax. Honestly, I think Banjo Bitches should have won, or Rockin' Old G should have won. Whichever one wins is up to them. I think, personally, country did better than metal, but that's just me. I liked the country. In fact, if I was there, I would have been like, I want country because it's country. I'm a country bitch and I can do that. But obviously, everybody has their thing and it's Metalgate, and I really could care less about Metalgate. It just was meh. But I think musically, the country song was a lot better than metal. And Dirty Old Bitches should have been in the bottom. All four of them should have been, critiqued. And I think that Lucy should have been safe. Or low safe. Because her verse was the best. Really, I think Jax should have been safe, because really runways have never mattered as much. But I think that her runway was the worst out there. It was, I can say that. It was the worst out there. It was my least favorite. I didn't like it. But I think that they wanted somebody that could send Robin home, but at the same time, Anitra was their baby. I think Anitra was favored because she had already won a challenge, whereas Jax was like, nah. So, In Your Room by the Bengals, I was like, whatever. This song was a good song, but at the same time, I'm like, what a weird song to lip sync to. It was like a filler lip sync almost, like a lip sync. In fact, these next two lip syncs are kind of like filler lip syncs. Let's talk about the Daytona Win Part 2. Mistress did win, but I think Malaysia was the other, could have won as well. It really would have been funny because both of them would have been sort of like rivals, and then they both won a challenge together. That's just me, though. I think that the other top Queen of the Week could have been either Anitra or Marsha. Really, I don't mind that both of them were critiqued. The bottom three queens I agreed with, because it really was sort of like a meh type thing. Aura did awful in the challenge, and I think she knew that. And Jax, poor Jax, just wasn't that good. As far as runway goes, my favorite runway of the night was Lucy LaDuca's. Oh, and I also could have seen Selena in the bottom three instead of Spice. I just liked Lucy LaDuca's. I did. I'm sorry. It was a good runway. And Sasha's runway was okay, but I didn't think that she did that great in the challenge. Really, Lux and Sasha both in that challenge were unmemorable, as was Selena's titties, but even more so because really it's weird because they tried to combine last season with two new characters. And yup, we're still together. It didn't have the same punch as Anitra and Lady Camden coming back in and doing that. Danny Trejo won the challenge for me, though. I loved him. I was very gagged that he showed up, to quote, a prophet, reading from the book of Noir London. I am a very much little gagged. I misread the Bible, excuse me, but I need Malaysia to come in and go shambhala to help me out here. But I was very gagged to see him here. The lip sync song "Sweetest Pie," again, one of the filler lip sync songs for me. It really wasn't. It was a piss take, wasn't it? Like, I think that Jax showed that she could be ferocious in a lip sync, and Aura really didn't have that much left in her. That's why I think Aura could have been gone sooner, and it really wouldn't have made a difference. If you're gonna get rid of Aura that quickly after she's won a challenge, give the challenge win to somebody else. Next is the Lip Sync Lollapalooza. This was actually my favorite episode for a while because of how iconic it was. So the first matchup, Marcia versus Malaysia, Boys Don't Cry. Marcia slayed her. Malaysia just... Mm-mm. My mom looked at the TV screen and said, "Oh no, Malaysia doesn't know how to lip sync, does she?" I'm like, she has to. It wasn't very good. But, I mean, on Malaysia's side of it, Marcia killed it. And I'm not really a Marcia, apologist. I feel like Marcia was kind of the new Gigi Good or Jan, where it's that Valentina style of fans are going to attack queens because the black queen, because they fought her. You know, like when Valentina was sent home, Nina Benina Brown got all the hate. And Nina Benina Brown doesn't deserve any hate from that. I mean, if you want to talk about her being racist or something like that, or homophobic or transphobic, absolutely go on ahead. But I'm not saying Nina Benina Brown's a saint, but all I'm saying is Valentina's fans should not have attacked her, and probably continue to attack her. Whereas from the aspect of Marcia, I saw a lot of people attacking Malaysia because she came for her in Untucked 2 weeks prior. And everybody was like, "You're a blah blah blah," sending racism after racism. And I'm like, we're gay, we shouldn't be fighting, we shouldn't be racist as well. Like, we're already fighting a fight, why do we have to, oh, hi Seashell. Why are we having to fight, a war against racism in our community as well? So, back to the thing at hand. Marcia winning over Malaysia does make sense, and again, I'm not a Marcia. Marcia should have won every week, but I think that she did the best. Next up, Lucy versus Spice. I wouldn't have been surprised if RuPaul had said, "Both of you go back to the back of the stage. You're gonna have to lip sync again," because that was awful. It really was, and it was one of those things where I think if Spice had been saved, it would have been a lot more like, okay, whatever. The fact that Lucy was saved and people's unsavory opinions about her during, last week's Untucked and now this, it's like, whatever, But I think that Lucy being saved just showed, we're not ready to see her go yet. Selena versus Lux, I agree with the judges. Selena won. Lux being mad, why was she mad? I mean, I understood why she was mad in the moment, but come on, you lost. And I'm not one of those queens that was also like, Lux should be canceled because she fought Trinity. I do think that her Amanda Lepore was bad. I'm just saying. Pardon. But I also think we just didn't have enough time to fully understand her Amanda Lepore. And again, I'm also not a Trinity apologist. So, Trinity's Amanda Lepore was also very bad. It was just very safe. But, again, whatever. And also, I didn't like Lux's puffer look. I'm going to just be blatantly honest. Because it was a puffer recreation of the look that Jackie Kennedy wore when her husband was assassinated. I just thought that was in bad taste. I thought the same thing about Lucy's Malaysia read. Very in bad taste, just not. And I'm not one of those people to get easily offended by something, but I'm like, it's not like the serve that you think it is that you're wearing. That, I mean, I just don't like it, and I thought it was a little bit insensitive. Anyway, Lux has to lip sync again. Selena goes fourth. Celine Dion's All Coming Back to Me Now. Loved the song, loved the lip sync between her and Lux. Next up, Mistress versus Jax. Jax won. You can't tell me otherwise. And I know everybody's like, but Mistress embodied the song. Mistress didn't do shit during the entire thing. Jax did stuff, and I really enjoyed Jax's performance. Mistress should have been put back in the back. And it's not because I hate Mistress. It's not because, I loved Jax this season. I mean, she was underrepresented, but I think that she also reached her limit by the end of this episode. But I think that Jax should have won. But Mistress wins, and I'm not mad about that in the grand scheme of things, but I'm mad that she won against Jax. Anitra versus Sasha, I wouldn't have been surprised if RuPaul had said, both of you go back. You're good. Though I do think that Sasha knew the words better than Anitra did. And I also think that Anitra kind of was like, I think that Sasha was being favored more than Anitra. And I think that Sasha had a reason to be. She did the best in the lip sync. And this was my favorite lip sync of the season for, I think it still is. Yeah. I enjoyed this episode. I enjoyed this lip sync. So anyway, Sasha continues fourth, and Anitra steps to the back of the stage. Malaysia and Spice. Could have been Malaysia and Mistress. And I think that it would have played out practically the different, but almost the same. Spice in Malaysia. Spice could have gone fourth, and I wouldn't have been mad at it. But the fact that Malaysia did, and it just wasn't, the reason I'm getting their names mixed up is it's both M. So even if I call them Marsha, Malaysia going fourth, I'm like, whatever, I think both of them, I don't like this song, Don't Go Yet, Camila Cabello. I don't like Camila Cabello that much. After she butchered Cinderella, I really don't like her. But I think that both of them just didn't give it their all. Now, Lux versus Anitra versus Jax. Lux was the only one that knew the words. That's why she stayed. And she did the best as well. Like, she turned it out. I enjoyed this lip sync. I think that, if one of them had ripped off their ponytail and threw it to the back of the stage, that would have been 100% better. But I enjoyed this lip sync, and I think that Lux winning was the right call. Saving Spice, whatever. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and go, no, because Spice is the word. Do whatever pleases you. Spice continuing in the competition. No skin off my nose. Anitra versus Jax, listen. They weren't going to get rid of Anitra. And I think it was Jax saw the train coming and couldn't break. And I do think Nina and Aja did it better. It's weird, right? Because everybody's comparing Anitra to Aja and about how ballroom and all of that. And then they put this lip sync song. And I'm like, damn. They really wanted Anitra and Aja to be the same person, didn't they? I mean, both of them had talent shows that were, like, riffs of voguing and ballroom, but Aja did it a little bit more closely to ballroom. And then, Anitra and Aja both lip synced to finally. Anyway, top 9, it's the ball challenge. I think that the final 2 looks should have been reversed, so my favorite ball should have come last, and have them make a thing out of the different ball things. I think that would have been fun. But Crystal look, whatever. I think that Lux should have been in the top with Mistress and with Sasha. Do I necessarily agree that she should have won? Do I agree that Selena and Spice should have had to lip sync? Who was. Oh, Lucy. Yeah, I think that it should have been probably Spice and Lucy. But I think that the reason Lucy was saved was because of the fact that they wanted to send Spice home. That's what I really want, is a good song. These queens did not do it well. And I'm mad about it because it's a Lumasak song. Highlights of this episode include Mistress's ball look, Sasha's final look, Lux's final look, Mistress's catsuit look, and I would have to say probably, even though it was rotted to filth, Lucy's favorite ball look. It's a highlight because of how bad it is. Next, let's talk about 50-50. I think that this should have been the bubbly sparkling water thing, and that 50-50 should have been the other thing. Only because it seems like this challenge was not set up properly. Do I think Sasha should have won? It could have gone to Lux. Lux could have won, Lucy could have won. Whichever one, Sasha did win, but I do think it was based off of the looks as well. Lucy was never going to win with that look. Malaysia versus Mistress in the bottom to all the single ladies. Selena won. That lip sync, she did the best. Do I think that she should have been in the bottom? It should have been Mistress versus Malaysia, with Marcia being low. Selena should have been safe, but what do I know? This challenge was a filler challenge, I think. And the bubbly sparkling one was also a filler challenge. Marcia being in the bottom and the sparkly thing made sense. And again, I think that the judging here was correct, other than I think Selena should have won. But that's just me. Runway looks, Ripper to Shreds. It was a good look. Boss bitch. I think my least favorite Ripper to Shreds look was probably Mistress's. Just because of how burnt it was and not really ripped. And my favorite look from that night was Lucy LaDuca. I liked Lux's look, don't get me wrong, the wee weep whole thing. But I think that Lucy's outfit was better. Because it wasn't really that referential. As far as the lip sync goes, it could have gone either way for me. But I knew that after RuPaul said, I'm going to send people home, then I knew Marcia, that's why they sent Marcia home. Top 6, this should have been a top 2 episode. Just add one more teacher, and then a top 5 remix. Because, here's the thing. This challenge was the best musical that I have seen. And that's saying something. You know, this was a really good episode, and my mom said, yeah, but it's not the best music. I said, oh, no. Drag Race standards, this is the best musical that I've ever seen. It really was good. I think Moulin Rouge was really good, too. I'm liking that they're taking the songs, these musicals, and rewriting them. You know, I liked the Madonna and Cher musicals, don't get me wrong, but, like, when you have all these famous musicals, just picking it and then rewriting it, amazing. My top 2 of the week would have been Lucy and Anitra. But, you know, Selena versus Lucy running up that hill. My mom thinks that Selena should have won. And I can see that, but I loved Lucy LaDuca's rendition of it. I agree that she should have won the lip sync, but I do think that Selena did a very good job in the musical. So it should have been a top 2 episode. Just saying. Next. So next up is the Teacher's Makeover. And I think that Sasha or Mistress should have won. Mistress should have won based on the fact that her outfits were the best. I agree with the bottom two, so what else is new? And I agree with the thing. I don't really have that much to say about it. Lucy versus Lux. Lux beat the shit out of Lucy LaDuca. Top four. Why even say that it's, a thing? Just have all of them lip sync to When Love Takes Over by Kelly Rowland. And that be that. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. Who do I think should have won that? I don't think any of them should have. I think all of them did really well. And I'm excited to see who wins. My pick to win is Sasha Colby. But I could also see Anetra or Mistress taking it. Lux and Mistress for me, though. Let me just say this. When I look at who, like promotional materials, you know how Willow Pill, I said this about Lady Camden too. I don't ever think I, released a statement on it because, frankly, nobody cares what I think. But when I see All-Stars cast lists, when I see promotional material for the next season, I don't see Mistress or Lux saying, these are the new queens coming in. I just don't. And I'm not trying to shade them. I love them, and if they win, then I'll eat my fucking duck, But I think that when looking at these are the next competitors, if it's not Sasha Colby and it's Anetra, then I could see that because it's like, this is Anetra and she's new to, this. She hasn't really been doing it for that long. Sasha Colby, these are the new queens. They're going to take over my reign. Me. I'm fucking Sasha Colby. I can't see Sasha Colby on an All-Star season. I just can't. Unless it's like Shea Coulee, where it's like, yep, and I am Shea Coulee, and, I'm Sasha Colby, and I'm a winner now. Whereas Anetra, Mistress, and Lux, I can totally see them coming back. And it's no shade to those other three girls, but when RuPaul literally told Sasha that she's impressed by her, there's nothing you can really do, and you still think you're going to win. So, anyway, I have been Jacob Ferguson. Who are you guys rooting for? Leave it down in the comments. Hopefully nothing that I've said today has been bad. I think that, everybody deserved fair treatment. I love everybody on this cast, and I wish them nothing but the best. And I will see you next time, probably in a year or two. I'll try to make a video once All Stars 8 comes out, because really that's probably going to be the next big thing after this season. But I've been Jacob Ferguson. Peace.